All right, hello. This is again Sloth with his Xavier guide, a spliced in segment to announce that this is part 10 because I didn't know how to count. So, Indomitable Spirit, we're going to follow up this with a damage reduction discussion. Say that again. Damage reduction discussion. Damage reduction discussion. I'm sorry. So 10% up to 40%. 40% is a giant chunk of damage reduction, right? And if you don't know, damage reduction is multiplicative, okay? From every source, not additive. So if you were like me and you looked at Mytha and you were like, okay, she decreases damage by 15% up to 20, so 20%. Then damage is decreased by block by 20%. So then you equip her with invulnerable maybe, and that's damage reduction 40%, right? But then if I give her a tarot, right, like the hermit, that's 20%. So I got 100% damage reduction. I'm invincible. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work out. She's like, she's tanky, but she still dies. And you're like, what? But I should take 0 damage. You added all the numbers. You didn't multiply them, right? So let's go. Right. So let's see what that damage reduction would actually be, right? So in Mytha's case, right? So sure, she takes 20% less damage. Great. Now you're at 80%. Okay. So then you block. That's another 20% damage reduction. So you have to multiply by 1.2. Right? Wait. 20%. No. You have to multiply by 0.8. I'm sorry. Right? Because you take 20% less, not 20% more. Okay. So now she's taking 64% of the damage, right? Then you have that Hermit Tarot card. So that's another 20% less. So you multiply again, whoops, by 0.8. Now you're at 51.2% received damage. Then if you had invulnerable, right? Invulnerable is a 40%, so you multiply by 0.6. Notice the giant drop, right? From the 51.2 to the 30.72. That's because you had a 40% reduction in damage, which is pretty significant, right? When you lower by 20% each time, well, each time you lower is like, a little bit, right? But when you have one giant damage reduction, like, it's pretty big, okay? And then I believe Defender, I think you can have it like when attacked from the front, from melee, from physical attacks, it's like 30% less. So then multiply by 0.7. And now if she gets attacked from the front with a physical attack, right? It's now like 20, she's only taking 21.5% of the total damage when she has invulnerable on. Okay? So, yeah. Now, is it 0? No, it's not 0, but it's it's a whole lot less, right? A lot less damage. So, let's take a look at the question. Okay? We're going to ask the question, when it comes to damage reduction, right? Is it better to have 5 sources of 10% damage reduction? Or is it better to have, let's say, 2 sources of 20%, right? And 1 instance of 10%. They all add up to 50, right? 10 times 5 is 50%. 20 plus 20 plus 10, that's 50%. Is one better than the other? Let's find out.